Salutations! I'm Lotus77, and today we've got not exactly a challenge build. Well, there's going to be a couple items in here that'll be extremely unorthodox and odd to be using. It's just going to be a build breakdown video, me explaining the kind of skills that I like to use. This is a request from a viewer, so definitely going to be fun. You guys get to learn how I learn the game. Also, I don't know why the game decides to die while I'm in a menu, other than it being Borderlands. But I am very much inspired and learned a lot from thiccfila when it comes to Zane. I didn't personally play many of his builds. I played like Sack Zane, and that was really about it. But I loved watching his gameplay. That was my favorite thing. Was like watching and learning how he played. Most of my stuff that I do, I make my builds by myself. I don't sit down and watch somebody else make a build. The most related that I've done is joined a couple of thiccfila's streams, and I've watched a couple of his videos when it came to. I mean, I watch a lot of his videos. I watch almost all of them, but I didn't watch them for the build making. I usually either just listened to the skill explanation or just skipped the skill tree part, because I just liked listening to him play the game. Right now, this is a stupid, very stupid setup, but I very much enjoy it. So, I say all that about Thick, and he's probably gonna absolutely hate me for referencing Green Tree, but Calm Cool Collect is probably one of my favorite skills. This is yeah. I learned a lot from him, but my skill tree etiquette is definitely not approved by thiccfila. But Brain Freeze plus Conku Collected and Eraser Shenanigans is really fun with like a redistributor, or running like a Banjo with a Butcher. I love chaining stuff. I love all the AoE style and explosive style. Explosive stuff's really fun too. Like a lob with Eraser and the Hustler it's so much fun to just blow stuff up with something that doesn't usually have a very large explosive radius. And then I wish I had a corrosive lob, because then I could just go get radiation. I have a whole bunch of weapons that I'm gonna be showing off. This one's gonna be stupid. You know what? Let's start with this stupid thing. But all right, so Purple Tree. The way that I typically go about Purple Tree is: am I using a launcher or a single shot based weapon like a sniper rifle? If I am, then I will go with Deja Vu, because then there's a chance by an enemy killed by critical hit for me to get ammo back. Then I don't have to worry about ammo very much. We're going to continue going down the launcher sniper route for now. So Commitment's just a good overall skill, giving you a cooldown rate. The gun damage less needed because they caps the stack count, but the cooldown rate is amazing. But Headsman's Hands is the more important skill in this row. If you don't have the skill points to go for Commitment and Headsman's Hand, get Headsman's Hand over Commitment if you're doing crit stuff, or if you're running a Hustler. If you are doing something that isn't related to crit and you're not running a Hustler, then Commitment, because of the cooldown, I would take it over Headsman's Hand. But Headsman's Hand, DPS wise, is just going to be better. Fugitive, the skill isn't really that useful. You don't need it. I just put it on here whenever I'm using something, a redistributor. But whenever you have the capstone, you're ADSing. You can't use this and ADS at the same time. Domino effect, reload speed, fire rate. This isn't needed or really that useful in a launcher build. Art of War, really good on a launcher build because it's single shot, next shot fired. Like, okay, it's just free damage. And then Eraser being... Okay, so the key thing to Eraser, you can only pierce up to 2 targets. It only pierces up to 2 targets. So it's not exactly like Boar in the way that Boar was in BL2. It's a common misconception that I see a lot. It can only pierce up to really 2 targets. But it does bonus a lot of damage. Now, when you're using an AoE weapon, the pierce doesn't matter at all because you're just hitting a whole bunch of enemies with crits and explosive is hitting everywhere. So it's just it's a pierce anyways. So it doesn't apply to splash weapons. But when it comes to non-splash weapons like sniper rifles, this will only pierce and hit up to 2 targets. Sheer Will, more cooldown. It mostly based on your critical hit, but more cooldown. It's nice, especially when you're running Mantis Cannon, because you want that cooldown to be as low as possible, so you're constantly proccing those action skill end effects. Iron Man Flint is V2 damage. So how this works is while you're aiming down sights, you automatically apply a status effect, and you get that bonus damage. So you're just going to deal more damage if you're ADSing while crit, or if you have a status effect enabled. Which, realistically, if you're using this, you want to ADS when the projectile hits the target, not when you shoot. If it happens relatively the same time or you can't time it like that, then don't worry about it. But a lot of the times with this skill, it applies if you are aiming down sights when the projectile hits the target, not when it comes out of the weapon. Oh, actually, one more thing. So I tend to go these 2 skills for Mantis Cannon because I'm always going for like charge and cooldown. I don't grab this because I tend to not... I don't like using the cannon to kill things. It can kill things, and it does really well at it. But a lot of the times I'm running challenge builds that I'm supposed to be using the weapon, not the cannon. So I typically don't... I don't grab this. But the rest of these are usually pretty good items, or pretty good skills. Blue tree. We're gonna continue down the single shot explanation here. So if you're using single shot weapons, you're gonna want all 3 of these skills. Because Cold War, when you swap, deal bonus cryo damage. It's an absurd number of cryo damage. Life steal right here. Reload speed on kill skill, it's a lot easier to proc than domino effect on critical hit, because when you proc your action skill, you're proccing kill skill. C in red for that proccing action skill, proc kill skill for extra fire rate. I would go playing dirty if I'm using like a launcher or a single shot weapon, but for this builds I'm running violent violence, and then good misfortune for that kill skill gives action skill duration, so you keep your barrier up. For this build specifically, seeing as I'm not running single shot stuff, I grab Renegade and Mana Focus. They don't really do too much. They're not really statistically significant as to what I'm doing, but they have a larger impact than a 10% chance for me to gain 1 ammo on a kill, because I'm firing more than 1 shot to kill an enemy, so I'm not really keeping ammo uptime. And relatively everything else would stay the same other than Art of War. I go Domino Effect because I'm shooting more than 1 shot per time I shoot my action skill. So I'm not getting Art of War on every shot, so I'm not worried about Art of War at all. Green Tree. I love this tree. The only useful notable skills to look at are Brain Freeze and Calm Cool Collected. That's really about it. And Futility Belt sometimes. Depending on what you're doing, Futility Belt and Distributed Denial can be funny. I grab Best Served Cold for Cryo Novas in case I get to freeze somebody near me while I'm wearing like a icebreaker. But the Calm Cool Collected here, this resets cooldowns and durations upon freezing an enemy, which I'm going to be freezing a whole bunch of enemies, so I'm running a Hustler because Brain freezes on crit, Hustler does false crits. So I'm freezing a lot of enemies. And that's the point of running the redistributor, is you're freezing lots of enemies. I just realized I don't have the right roll on this. Oh well, I'll go re-roll this later. Contact hits on weapons on Zane is not that good because you get violent momentum, which does the same 200% bonus if you're doing the right movement speed stuff. The base cap on this is 200%, I think. My numbers may be wrong slightly, but yeah, that's the breakdown of this build. Red tree, I mostly only go down for splash builds because duct tape mod, or I go down here for clone builds because double barrel, which all of this stuff either supports. All of this stuff down here is just clone stuff, really. Clone skill, clone skill, clone skill. This is really just a clone skill because this pairs really well with boom enhance. Supersonic Man is pretty good. I personally don't really use it unless I'm going for a clone build. And then clone stuff. Synchronicity really isn't that significant because you already have Violent Momentum. And then Donnybrook isn't that significant because you have Violent Momentum. So I usually go max size, borrowed time if I'm going down the street all. If I'm going for a more weapons-oriented builds, I go pre-munitions. If I'm going clone-based build, I go borrowed time. At some point, I might go through on each of those style Zane builds if I play them at some point for different weapon challenges and break down those specific skill trees. But yeah, so the base mechanic for this is pairing the Hustler with some sort of chaining weapon, so like a redistributor or the Banjo with the Butcher, or some sort of high fire rate, high projectile count weapon. And then for bossing, Toboggan with some sort of slow firing weapon that deals a lot of damage. Or just using the Toboggan in general, because I prefer the slide speed over the Icebreaker Victory Rush, because I just prefer playing it that way, but you're probably going to get more effectiveness out of the Icebreaker Victory Rush with this build. I just prefer Toboggan because I like movement speed. Crossroads. This item is old. Like, this weapon used to be, back when it had 4 projectiles, like the best Zane weapon because it had 4 fast firing projectiles. And when you're Zane with Violent Momentum, you don't really need to worry about like splash damage because you just shoot high projectile, thing dies, especially when it's high fire rate. Whoops, I should probably pull up my music on my other screen.
Oh, no.
No. Okay, there we go. Pulling up an Asmongold video. My lord. I did not have that last pulled up on that browser. Oh, well. I have a couple other weapons that I want to just, like, tamper with. I also have a shock redistributor. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what that's about. It's here. I want to try this weapon out a little bit. The Moonfire was really good item. Definitely want to try that out a little bit. The Clairvoyance is really fun. And then, like, the doll pistols. Yeah, so, like, Shocking AAA and the Hornet. I see them get dogged on a lot, and I'm just like, well, let's try them out. And then the Maggie's really good on Zane because crit, if you're running Hustler. I have a back burner for second wins if I feel like I'm going to either need or want it. The DNA. I don't really see too many people using the DNA. It's a really fun weapon. And then the Cutsman used to be like the #1 Zane boss melting weapon. Then I have a Hellshock on here. I have a Kibsworth. Kibsworth is really good for bossing. It's a really fun Zane weapon for bossing. The Chaosin's pretty good. Oh, that's right. Reflux. Reflux is another chaining weapon that you can use. You can use either like the Redistributor or the Reflux. Both of them work really well. If you want to convert this into a clone build, the Reflux works really well on clone. Yeah, it works really well on clone for doing chain stuff. It's stupid good. I should turn down the freaking music before I go deaf. There we go. And I don't exactly have many topics to talk about today. It was mostly just do that. You see, with all the freezing with the chaining stuff, because you're constantly landing those crits with the hustler. Because the redistributor doesn't naturally crit like that. And then you're getting that one-man flint extra stuff. Okay, I'm gonna switch off the toboggan. I'm just gonna... Nope, not Banjo. I'm gonna run Icebreaker, because I feel like it. Actually, it'll probably be best with this weapon here. Oh wait, he died from the other thing, so I'm good. That's crazy. Do this. Pop that. Oh, alright, so this Kraken kill is gonna be freaking awesome. We're gonna pull this out. I'm gonna shoot you, and Kraken's dead. It's beautiful. Chaining weapons with Eraser is so much fun. Or like naturally piercing weapons like the recursion. Like, I don't have a recursion on me, but a recursion usually does pretty well with like Eraser. Alright. And then Eraser just murders stuff by itself like that. Just because it's Eraser doing Eraser things. Do I have like a weapon that would be able to just... I don't think so. Alright, let's swap out a weapon here. Let's swap this, and then let's swap... How about this? Yeah, let's do that. We're gonna open with a boom sickle. Why? Because I feel like it. Oh, I blew myself up. That's the problem with using splash weapons. Unless you have, like, duct tape mod. I did it again. I think that's death here. Okay, just run away, sure. There we go. Come on, summon dude to kill. That works. Yes, the redistributor just killed the boss without needing to chain anything. People say this gun is dead. It still works just fine to me. That actually was pretty good. What? That's kind of nuts. Alright, hold on. Let's see here. I want to pull out the crossroads again. Because I kind of want to show this weapon off as like a decent weapon, that it's still usable for boss killing. I understand there's probably better, but this weapon still kicks butt today, despite it being nerfed back to its original self. So is that really a nerf? I mean, like, it just went back to being normal. Oh, I'm getting messages? Oh my lord. Oh, I'm also getting an app over here. Oh, okay. that was actually thiccfila's Discord talking about Helldivers, because that's the game that he's been into recently since he stopped playing Borderlands. He's been doing a lot of Helldivers content. I recommend go checking out his content if you like Helldivers, or if you just like his commentary. I enjoy his commentary. I should probably switch the other weapon out. Let's go. Let's try. Ooh, the Becca. I don't want to try out the Becca here. That actually does pretty well. That's nuts. Whoops. Well, we're gonna see how well it does on the worst character that for being downed with. Just slaughters, because why not? I blew myself up again. Where'd he go? Oh, whatever. He broke the revolter, and everything died from that. Oh right, I still have the crossbow on. Let's try. What's another weapon to try out here? The clairvoyance. This isn't a masher variant. This is what, the full auto, or is this the crit? Yeah, no, it's the crit variant. So I enjoy a lot of like classical legacy Zane style stuff. I actually made a build a little bit ago for another people. Wow, words! I made a build a while ago for somebody in my Discord, which if y'all join my Discord, I will I'll make you specific builds and give you the items for it. I don't mind. Or if you just feel like hopping in and playing some games with me through the YouTube comments section, which that sounds like a terrible way to try and play with people, is through the YouTube comments section. But if y'all somehow get that to work, we can try that out. I don't mind. I just love playing this game, and I'm trying to find more people to play it with. A lot of the people that I've been trying to get to play don't really play these kinds of games. Okay. What's the next weapon I should try out? The Chaos? Oh wait, I forgot. I still have the Moonfire here. Whoops. I don't know. This weapon doesn't exactly do well on this build. I mean, like, it's still a good weapon. If you land crits and precision shots, it's a really fun weapon. But I don't know. I don't have a sight on mine, which is super annoying. I'd rather like a Becca or something with a sight. Oh, the Moonfire is still a pretty good pistol. You know, I'm really enjoying the Becca gameplay because I can still get better DPS by focusing on crits, but it doesn't discourage me too much from not landing crits. And it does a slight chain thing because of the ricochets. Which ricochet stuff with this setup is also really fun. Like Jacob's weapons. It's beautiful. I love it. Let's try this thing. Oh, whoops. The convergence. Well, I guess this is kind of not a great time. Because there's not very many enemies to chain the convergence off of. But there's a lot of projectiles. Oh, you know what? Do I have a conference call? I'm blind. Oh wait, I still need to try this out. Try this out. I guess I'll just plop this on here for now. Actually, let's try the infinity on one of these guys up here. The infinity pistol plus a revolter is nuts. It's beautiful. Okay, this one. You're immune to... Right, do I have, like, corrosive anymore on this weapon? I think I do. I guess it didn't really matter too much. We're gonna shoot this guy with this. It's also shock, but I also have corrosive stuff with it. There we go. Oh, what are y'all's thoughts on Randy's post earlier? I think it was the other day about how Borderlands 3 has the best DLCs out of all games. Like, I was so confused when I saw videos popping up talking about him saying that. I was just like, he actually said that? How often do you think of Borderlands 3 as the best DLC? I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm pretty sure the DLC for this game's pretty good. I enjoy it. But the best? I would argue that Tiny Tina's is better than almost all the DLC in this game. Oh, did I hit him with a dot? Probably. The Hornet is also pretty good here. You know what? Can I line up whoops, I messed that up. I was about to say, can I line up an eraser shot with one of the freaking orb dudes? But clearly not. Where to go up here? Eraser doing eraser things. And there we go. The Hornet being that good. Nah, that's mostly because this Wotan just dies to Eraser. Yeah, I don't have it in my hands. But yeah, I very much enjoy this style of build. Chainy stuff, crit-based stuff on Zane is really fun, but also movement speed. If you noticed, I didn't use like a plasma coil, or I didn't even pull out the hell shock. I try to avoid meta weapons even when I'm playing with a really good build. It just feels wrong to me to play meta items. I mean, the chaos is kind of up there, and the convergence is pretty up there, and the lob is pretty up there, but they're not exactly meta. They're just good items. And I have meta items on here, and I have like old meta, like redistributors like the old meta, and the crossers like the old meta, but it's not meta anymore. But yeah, this setup is so much fun. I didn't show off the banjo. Oh well. But the banjo with the butcher, and with any weapon that's not a chaining weapon on this build, works wonders. It's beautiful, it's enjoyable, it's brilliant. If I wanted to show off a speed kill for Wotan, I would have pulled out the DNA and I guess the Hornet did really freaking well. I would have used, I mean, like, if I wanted to, I'd probably use the Hornet, or I'd use, like, the Becca, just because of how the ricochet works with the Becca. It would work amazingly for a speed Wotan kill with this build. I also don't have a root on here. I was just talking about meta weapons, but the root is also just stupid. It feels like a modded weapon. I don't want to use it. I have a build that has a root on it, but I don't use it. It was mostly because somebody else asked for it, and so I was like, sure, I'll put it on there for you. I hate that weapon. I loved it when it came out because, like, I didn't use the bug when it came out. I was like, ooh, this is a really cool sniper rifle, and just started playing around with it. And then when I stumbled across the AoE stuff, I was like, nope, I am throwing this thing into the abyss. Well, I hope y'all have a good rest of your days, or evenings, or nights, whenever you're watching this video. Thank y'all for showing up. There's a lot of views that have been popping off on these videos. I'm just like, that's awesome. I would love for you guys to, I would love for like more comments, because I love to talk with people. I don't care if you like or subscribe. It does not matter to me. If you do genuinely like the video, just talk to me. I very much enjoy actual feedback. I'm definitely gonna drop a video talking about social media and how the like, comments, and subscription-based. Hold up, the run hasn't finished yet. There's a brain. What do we finish him off with? Dot, I guess. No, we finish him off with the cannon. There we go. The item at the skill at the beginning of the video that I was saying I don't use for killing things. I used to kill the final little guy for the boss. But I'll definitely talk about all the social media stuff in a later video if I haven't already complained about it enough.